6 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Hello, everybody. It's Mark Klein hanging out with you on another Long Island Blues Warehouse. Every week, we bring you a live band in the studio, as many of you know at this point in time. And this week, we're bringing in a project that's going to be basically giving us some funk, R&B, little smooth jazz and soul for good measure. This week's featured artist on the stage with us right now, the Wow Factor.
Come on, good guy, come on, ho! You know what? You just got to shake everything you got. Shake everything you got. That's what you do, y'all. Shake everything you got. Say what? Shake everything you got. Good God. Shake everything you got. You got to shake it, baby. Shake everything you got. Woo. Shake it, mama. Shake everything you got. Go ahead. Shake everything you got. no need to get upset. Don't you get so mad about it?
Do you have to get so mad?
Don't you get so mad about it? Don't you get so mad about it? Don't you get so mad about it? Hey, it's all so crazy now. Somehow it's gotta change. Take a look at yourself, carrying on this way. I know you care about the love we're building here, so why get all upset? It's just not worth it. Listen to me, my dear. I'm loving Mary Jane. She is my main thing. She makes me feel alright. She makes my heart sing. And when I'm feeling low, she comes no surprise. Turns me on with love. Takes me to paradise. Do you love me, Mary Jane?
Oh, yeah. This week's featured artist, the Wow Factor. And boy, must I begin by saying, wow, SAXY Rick. It's what we call coming out of the gate strong, my man. I want to begin by saying.
Thank you, Mark.
It's good to see you, man.
Same
Good to
here,
see
man.
you. We've been trying to put this thing together for a while, you and me. We finally did it.
Yes.
And I'm glad we did. And I think we're going to start with you. Oh. Let's talk about, first of all, let's talk about the individual we started the show with on audio, the Long Island Little Buster thing. Little Buster and the Soul Brothers. You were an original Soul Brother. Were you not?
Not original.
You weren't an original guy?
I wasn't original, but
You were a long-standing Soul Brother.
I was Soul Brother number 19.
You were 19?
Yes, sir.
Out of how many?
Oh. Well, after me, there was only maybe 4 or 5 after me. So 19. Me and Bobby Schlesinger were either 19 or 20.
The old keyboard player,
Yes,
sure.
yeah.
When did you start with Little Buster?
92.
You jumped in 92.
92, yeah.
How'd you get involved in playing with Little Buster? How'd you learn about him? Would you come to a show, get up on stage and jam, and it was a chemistry thing?
Buster was living in California when I first got to New York myself. And I used to go to this place called the C Note in Island Park.
Sure, sure.
And Mike Barnett was playing.
Okay.
And they said this is our last week here because Little Buster's coming back to take over the night. I'm like, who the hell is Little Buster? Because I didn't know who he was. So Little Buster came down after he came back from California, and he started doing the gig that night. And somebody else told me, he said, you should really introduce yourself to him. And I did. And he said, come on and play. I said, no, 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 no. They had 2 other sax players, and their harmonies were so tight, I couldn't see where to get in at. So I said, no. It took me almost 6, 7 months before I even got on stage with him.
That long?
I went to every show and sit out there and listen and watch, but I wouldn't get on the stage till I knew where I was at.
It took you 6 months to get the nerve up to do it?
Yeah.
How'd you do your first time up?
I think I did pretty good. Well, Buster actually announced me that at my first time up, he actually announced me as a new member of the band. So now we had 3 saxophones.
Very nice, very nice. Let's talk about some history with you real quick. Let's talk about what you were doing before the Buster days. Let's talk about when you started with the horn. How old were you? What got you started, man?
Wow.
Were you a little guy?
Well, the saxophone, I was 14, and that was the last thing I ever thought I would even play.
Okay.
I played trumpet before that, and I played drums before that, and I played keyboard and sing. But I never played the horn until I was 14. And it was an accident. It was the last instrument left in the band to play, and they said, if you want to be in the band, you got to play this.
That's how that works.
That's how it happened. I swear to God. I was like, but here I am, you know.
Here you are, man, and you've been doing your thing strong on Long Island for a few decades now, putting it mildly. Is that right?
Yeah. Wow. Yes, that's 91.
All right. Very cool, my man. We got a lot to do, Saxy Rick, in a very short period of time. So I say we jump into the next tune. We'll come back and chat more with you and some of these fine musicians in a little bit. What are we doing next?
The next song is a song that I won the Apollo playing. It's called Silhouette by Kenny G.
You good to go?
I'm ready.
Once again on the Long Island Blues Warehouse, we are going to keep it moving with this week's featured artist, the Wow Factor.
Jen DeMonte from Wisconsin, New York, and you're listening to the Long Island Blues Warehouse.
yeah. Long Island Blues Warehouse / Soul Train. You guys remember that show? Who here's been on Soul Train? Who here's watched? You been on Soul Train? Seriously? In the audience checking the show out? All right. Very cool. This week's featured artist, the Wow Factor. And Lord have mercy, SAXY Rick. You know what I'm saying?
I'm having a good time, man.
We're having a better time than that even, I think. It got a few degrees hotter since that one. You jumped into that one. Real nice, my man. We talked about Little Buster earlier. Let's talk about a few other things you've done. You've worked with a few other local artists around the island. You've worked with, of course, Pep and the Soul Explosion.
Yes.
Stevie Cochran, Long Island's own Stevie Cochran.
Yeah.
This one I get a kick out of. Ashanti?
Oh, yeah.
You worked with Ashanti?
Yeah. I didn't get to play my horn, but I work with her.
What'd you do with Ashanti?
I played my electronic wind instrument. I played all of her strings, bells, whistles, flutes, and all the other parts and stuff.
You did all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
The second song you played, by the way, you talked about Kenny G.
Mm-hmm.
What was that piece?
Silhouette.
Beautiful piece, man.
Yeah.
I thought you turned my back to the stage. I thought it was Kenny G.
Well, thanks.
Really nice, man. Really nice. Let's talk about what you were doing before Little Buster, Rick. Let's talk about other projects you were involved in musically. What were some of the things you were doing out of, let's say, high school and right out of high school? What were you doing musically?
Oh.
Can you remember?
Yeah, there was so many bands. You know,
Throw a few at me.
So many local bands. Silky Vincent out of Akron, Ohio. Stonewall Band out of Akron, Ohio. Connecticut. I was actually with Victor. We had a band. Actually, it was just me and Victor. We were called Back to Back. And I sequenced a lot of tracks, and we sang and played to those tracks. And had a good time with that.
Very cool. Let's head over to Victor Freeman if we can and chat with Vic for a second. How you doing, Victor?
I'm good.
You make a great addition to this project, I want to begin by saying.
Well, thank you.
How long you been working with Rick?
Oh, I worked with Rick about a good 18 years ago, and ever since then, I just been kind of dead. I haven't done anything. I mean, I talked to him a couple of times, but, you know, I kind of left the music scene.
Why'd you leave the scene?
Got married, kind of went for
Started the family thing.
Yeah, kind of went for the 9-to-5 thing, you know.
Took a little hiatus.
Yeah.
All right. How long did it take before you jumped back into music?
Rick gave me 2 weeks.
How's that working out for you?
It's working out pretty good.
The family's okay with it?
Oh yeah, everybody's good with it. Yeah, the son is grown now, so you know.
Let's talk about when you began musically, Victor. When you started as a little guy yourself?
I actually didn't start till I was about 28 because prior to that, my whole life was basketball. I was too cool to be a singer.
You were a sports guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You sure got the height for it, my man. You sure got the height for it.
Thank you.
So no school projects musically, nothing like that going on?
No. What had happened was my son's mother, she is a professional dancer. She's traveled the world with the Alvin Ailey dance troupe. And she also sings. So I just went with her a couple of times to some singing auditions. And she went in one, and then she told me, why don't you go in? I was like, I'm not a singer. I'm not going in there because I always sing around the house, you know. So she convinced me to go in there, and I went in there, and I was shocked because within 5 minutes, they asked me if I could have my bags packed and ready to go to Europe in like a week. And I was so shocked that I didn't go. I was just
blew it off.
Yeah, I couldn't understand.
Do you regret that today?
Yeah, when I look back, yeah.
All right.
I wish I would have went with
All right.
it. Yeah.
Didn't give you enough notice, man. Didn't give you enough time to digest it and take it in.
Yeah.
Probably the day you were supposed to be there is the day you were like, what the, I should be there now. That's all right. That's all right. Other opportunities, I'm sure, will be coming your way.
Right.
A talented young man like yourself. How old's your son, by the way, these days?
He is 26 now.
And with the music background he's got in his family.
Oh, he's making a living as a singer. He's been in Europe now he's been living in Europe for about 8 years now.
What kind of project is he involved in?
He got about 6 bands over there. So he has jazz bands, R&B bands, party bands. You know, he also does recording studio technician type stuff.
6 projects, literally?
Oh yeah, he can
So
call on
he doesn't
anyone.
have much downtime, does he?
No, he doesn't.
And he likes that.
He loves it.
He can maintain that type of speed, that type of energy.
Well,
He can keep those long days up, those 24-hour days?
He can definitely keep up the energy. It's just that now he's going into he wants to bring his show to America now, so he's on the verge of trying to work that out.
All right, all right. What's his? He's got 6 bands, 6 projects. Throw some names of some projects at us.
I would not know.
Okay.
I mean, it's just.
All right, it was a fair question.
Yeah.
It was a fair question. Well, I tell you what, if he's got half the talent his old man does, wouldn't mind getting him on the stage one day.
All right, all right.
You make a great addition to this project, my man, Victor Freeman. We thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I want to grab LISAMICHEAL-PEELER, if I can, for a second. A lovely, lovely addition to this project. How are you, Lisa?
I'm fine, Mark.
How long have you been working with the incomparable SAXY Rick?
Well, let's see. I've been working with Rick for about a year off and on.
Okay.
We actually, we initially met at a funk night function. It's friends of ours get up and they do their thing once a month. And
would any of those friends of yours be any of the Funk Philharmonic musicians by any chance? No. All right, I had to ask.
I didn't think so.
It's the only other strong funk band I know out here other than you guys, and so I had to ask. That's okay.
These were the guys who used to work at Cafe Wa years ago.
Okay, okay. Let's talk about some history with you. Let's talk about when you began musically. Did you start young?
I started singing young, but professionally, only about 9 years.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, considering you're about 18, you've been doing it, what, half your life now?
You're funny.
Little late on that, Mr. Bannister. All right, all right. All right, we'll see how you are on the next one. Let's talk about some projects that you've been doing before working with Rick. I see initials down here, JT. And I know we're not talking about Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Which JT are we talking about?
JT Taylor of Kool and the Gang.
James Taylor.
Yes.
Very cool. How long did you work with him?
I only did one gig with him.
All right.
But
it's on the resume.
it was an accidental audition.
Who cares? It's on the resume.
So, but yeah, it was fun. We flew out to London, performed at a wedding actually.
How'd you get involved in working with him for that?
A keyboard player I was dating at the time was going in for an audition.
Okay.
And he said, "Look, come along." I said, "Okay." The next thing you know, he's like, "You should go in there and audition." I was like, "I don't have a photo and all that stuff." He's like, "Just go ahead. Just tell me you forgot it." It's like, how do you go in and tell JT you forgot your stuff? He said, "Just go ahead." I said, "All right." I put my name down. They called me in. I said, "I'm sorry. I don't have a photo or anything for you guys. I can probably send you one later or something." And he said, "All right, well, what are you going to do?" I said, "Well, just to let you know, it's morning. I don't sing in the morning."
How early in the morning was it?
11 a.m.
Okay.
So I said, okay, so I'm going to do Been So Long, which was Anita Baker. I was trying to go low register and highest register. So I chose...
How'd you do so early in the morning with that audition?
Actually, Been So Long was very good because it's very low.
You hit it out of the park, didn't you?
Yeah, but the next song was I Want You Back, Jackson 5.
Oh, okay.
And in the middle of the song, I said, "I told you it's 11 a.m. And they laughed and said, "Thank you for your time." And I was gone, and the next thing they called me.
Get me back here at 4 p.m. and look out.
No, 8.
8 p.m. Okay, okay. This next one I get a kick out of, Laura Branigan.
Yeah, well, Laura, well, this is later in her years, not long before she left us.
All right.
The same keyboard player was her second keyboard player.
Okay.
And I would go to the shows they would do, and Laura would never show up for a rehearsal. But I would. And Jay, his name is Jay Sweeney, by the way, the keyboard player.
You shouldn't have told us that.
Oh, that's okay.
That's okay. You can share that with us.
Hi, Jay. He would say, "Well, Michelle can sound just like her. So go ahead. She knows the hits and everything." I was like, all right. So, I would sing during the rehearsals in Laura's place so that the band could get the music down for the shows.
Very cool. Very cool.
As a favor, I wasn't paid for it.
All right. On the resume.
It was
check.
fun. It was fun.
It's on the resume, kid.
And Laura was so sweet, too.
I'm sure she was. She seems like she was.
Yeah, she was.
What a great experience, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, talk to me about this next one. Sandra Bernhardt.
Yeah.
A part of her comedy skit? What?
Yes, she had a comedy skit down on 15th Street. I'm sorry, I forget the name of the theater. 15th Street in on the east side.
Okay.
And she had a girl who was taking some time off, and her piano player, John Palmer, had called me up and said, Sandra wants to meet you and see if you're right to sub for her girl for these 3 nights. And I did. And she was like, I like her energy. Yes. Yes, Michelle. So
Now, was that, what's this? Is this her hands on you?
She's very
touchy-feely?
Chi-oriented, I'd say.
Okay.
So, yeah, she saged the place to death. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. Very
Yeah.
cool.
It was a lot of fun, too.
Very cool.
She has musical breaks.
You make a great dynamic to this project.
Oh, thanks.
I look forward to seeing a lot more of you with this project and other things that you're going to be doing. So we thank you so much for what you're all about. LISAMICHEAL, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
SAXY Rick, it's time to put you people back to work, my man.
We're going to let Victor take this one.
Vic, you good to go?
All right.
What are we doing?
Wishing on a star.
Love it, love it. Once again on the Long Island Blues Warehouse, we are going to keep it moving with this week's featured artist, the Wow Factor.
I'm wishing on a star to follow where you are. I'm wishing on a dream to follow what it means. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm wishing on the star to follow where you are. I'm wishing on a dream to follow what it means. Yeah, yeah. And I'm wishing on the rainbows that I see. I'm wishing on the people who really dream. I'm wishing all tomorrow brings that it comes. I'm wishing all the love in me never done. I never thought I would see the time when you would be so far away from home, so far away from me. Think of all the moments that we spent. I just can't let you go. For me, you were a man. I didn't mean to hurt you, but I know in the game of love you reap what you sow. And I can make up, baby. I feel it's time for us to get back together. Think about it, baby. Ooh, baby, when we're together, yeah. Whether or never, wishing on a star to follow where you are. I'm wishing on a star, and I'm wishing all the rainbows that I see. I'm wishing on the stars to follow where you are. I'm wishing on the stars, and I'm wishing on the rainbows that I see. Yes, I am. I'm wishing on stars.
Oh, yeah. This week's featured artist, the Wow Factor. Nicely done, Victor Freeman. Vic, I don't know how you have a 26-year-old when you look like you're like 32, man. Help me understand. You fathered a kid when you were like 5? I don't get it. I don't get it. Get out of here.
Yeah.
53?
Yep.
Who's 53?
Me.
You on? Let me see your license. Come on.
It's in my coat.
Victor Freeman, nicely done, my man, 53. I challenge on that, my man. Let's head over to the keyboard player. If you head up to one of these mics, I'd like to grab Mr. Ron Thompson if he'd head on over. How you doing, Ron Thompson?
Doing okay.
It's good to see you, my man. It's good to see you. Another great dynamic to this project.
Well, thank you very much.
Let's talk about some history. Let's talk about when you began. Are the keys the first and only instrument you play?
Well, it was my first instrument, but I did play French horn. And
You dabbled with the horn.
yeah, I had a pretty musical adolescence,
All right.
So, yeah, I went to music camp. I played classical music a little bit.
You studied some classical. At what age?
Yes, I did.
What age did you
I'd
begin?
say, this was when I was 10. I started playing piano.
Is this a direction you wanted to get into? Was it an influence through parents in the house?
I'm sure that my parents had some influence. My mom really enjoyed the piano. I think when I was a younger than 10-year-old, we lived in an apartment building where there was a piano, and there was someone who played the piano in the apartment building, and she heard it, and I guess she wanted me to, or someone in the house to play. So me and my brother, the two of us took piano lessons when I was 10, but he dropped off. He gave it up, and I stuck with it, I guess.
Very cool, my man. Very
Yeah.
cool. Well, let's talk about what you were doing musically, high school and out of high school days. What were you doing in your late teens, early 20s?
I went to a very famous high school in New York City. It was the school that they based the movie Fame on. It's called the High School of Music and Art.
Is that right?
Yeah. So it was a great experience. I have to say that there were lots of famous. I'm not famous necessarily, but I rubbed elbows with lots of people who did really well and are continuing to do well in the music industry.
Throw a name or two at us.
Well, I'll start with Marcus Miller. You know who Marcus? He's a bass player. He produced some records for Miles. Kenny Washington's a drummer. He's a real great jazz drummer. Ray Chu, who's a great player. Bela Fleck, the banjo player. I don't know how
Just
many
to name
names.
a few.
Just to name a few.
Very cool, my man. Very cool. How long have you been involved in working with SAXY Rick over here?
Should I really tell them? It's been a long time. Rick and I have known each other for a long time over the years. Even before. See, he doesn't even remember how long it's been. But I do remember running to him on some party gigs and stuff like that back in those years that came before the 21st century, And he's always been a great showman, a great player, and a wonderful guy, I'm glad he called me to do this project.
I'm glad he called you to do this project as well. You make a tremendous, tremendous addition
Thank you.
to any project you touch, be my guest.
My pleasure. Thank you.
If you do what you do with other projects as you're doing tonight, then I can't wait to see you do other things, my man.
Well, thank you very much.
Tremendous addition. Ron Thompson on the keys. We thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. Let's grab on the bass for a second. If we'll head up to one of the mics, Mr. Al Davis. How you doing, Al Davis?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
It's
blessed.
good to see you, my man.
Thank you. It's good to see you. Good to be here.
You know, I didn't get the email to wear the bright shirt with the dark vest. I'm a little.
He gave me the email. Rick gave me the email.
Rick, I didn't get that email, man.
Sorry.
Your bad is right. We're gonna have to talk off air later. That's all right. I'm standing out like a sore thumb here in my blue shirt. Al, let's talk about some history, my man. Let's talk about when you began holding down the bottom end real well as you do.
Wow, thank you.
You start young?
Very. Let's see. Pops started me off with drums at 7.
You started on the kit.
Yeah, I actually played drums and then I played guitar. And when I got into high school, I was drafted into bass because the bass player found that the bass player for the high school band had found out that I can play bass. He says, "Oh, you can play bass. I'm quitting. I'm going into acting." And ever since that, it's been all, it's all she wrote, you know. And I've been playing bass and drums too. And so I still play guitar a little bit, but as coming up, for some reason I had a problem with rhythm sections that were out of sync. So being that I wanted to be somewhat in front with the guitars, I figured I'd play bass and keep the drum in line, and then everybody falls in place, you know. So that's been pretty much what it's been since.
I'm guessing the bass has been the strong passion.
Yeah, it's been, this is my forte, I could say.
You've talked to me about this project, by the way, Mild and Spicy.
Mild and Spicy.
This is a project that you've, am I saying it right?
Mild and Spicy's been admitted. Yeah, I got so many projects going on. And
you were in this project and you don't remember. Is that what you're saying, Rick?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it's so many. I mean, I'm not to try to brag or anything like that, but there's been like so many projects. So, Rick, oh man, that's been like a year. Yeah, in the back,
It's good to be a working musician, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, when you do what you do, your phone's gonna ring. That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been God. That's God's doing. It's not me. I've been blessed.
That's nonsense. You know, it's the force. It's the force, my man. Either you're born with it or you ain't. And you, my man, are born with it. So
thank you.
Deal with that if you can.
Yes, sir. I will.
Al Davis on the bass and vocals. We thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
Let's grab on the drum kit. If I pull his mic around there for a second, Lonnie Bannister. I want to talk to Lonnie for a second. If he'll make an adjustment on that microphone. How you doing, Lonnie Bannister?
Doing good. I'm doing very well.
Not your first rodeo here on the Long Island Blues Warehouse.
This is a return to
we
the
had
rodeo.
you here about a year ago, if I had to guess, with don't tell me, Danny Keene.
Yeah,
Long Island Danny Keene.
Yes.
When did you jump behind the kit for the first time?
Well,
What got you started?
I think I told you this story the last time I was here.
Let's refresh people's memories, mine included.
Remember a little group called the Beatles?
No.
From back in the day.
Ringo something?
Yeah, I was sitting in front of a black and white TV when the lads came into town. They were on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Sure.
I saw Ringo Starr sitting on that kit, hair going back and forth, sitting up on that platform. I thought that was the coolest thing I had ever seen.
The hairdo or the
him playing. I was just trying to figure out two things: what it would take to do that, and why my hair wouldn't go back and forth like that. Well, I gave up on the hair, but I'm still playing.
You sure are, my man. You sure are.
When I was a kid, in the house, my dad had Miles Davis, Duke Ellington, Cal Jader, so I soaked up that music. And then on the radio, you had the Animals, the Beach Boys, the Dave Clark Five, Paul Revere and the Raiders, and then you had Motown, you had Stax. So in the 60s, I soaked up all that music. Then in the 70s, the whole disco thing hit. By that time, I was in high school. And first band I played with was a friend of mine by the name of Jesse Barnes. He was the conga player. I was a drummer. It was called Spirit Band. We would play, you know, Earth, Wind and Fire, the Commodores, Cameo, all that stuff. In the late 70s, I got saved. I became a committed Christian, and then I got baptized into gospel music. The Hawkins, Andre Crouch and the Disciples,
sure,
all of that. Did that all the way through college, and then started. I had a friend of mine by the name of Lascelles McLaughlin, who everybody knows as Mac. He and I have known each other for over 30 years. He went to the Marine Corps and came out, and when he did, we touched base again, and he became a phenomenal singer. So we started hitting the karaoke spots and whatnot. And then he said, listen, why don't we go sit in a place where they're doing live music? And we went into this little place. What's the name of that place? Illusions. Club Illusions. And
you're not asking Al Davis, are you?
No, I'm asking.
He's not going to remember.
I'm asking SAXY Rick.
All right.
Because that's why I met SAXY playing with and Dave Brown and KATO. I'm playing with the Soul Explosion. No, we met before that. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Little Wow Factor trivia here live on stage.
So Mac and I sat in, we sat out there listening to these guys coming down on Thursday night for almost a year, sitting in and coming around, sitting in. And then one day I got the call, and I played with those guys for a year. You know, it really is a compliment from SAXY Rick to be sitting here, because me and Rick used to bump heads. we would go on different things. I'd be playing the drums. He'd say, get up, let me play this song, let me play this song. I was like, oh my God, man. I'm sitting in trying to get some playtime. This cat's already playing the sax, and he didn't want to sit in and bump me off the drum set. And then, you know, we started playing together, and every now and then we would bump heads. But the thing that was interesting about that is secretly we had this admiration for what the other one did. I think that Rick, if you listen to the cats that are out there playing now, I think that Rick far and wide is either right where they are or just past it. So, you know, and then he's a drummer, so I guess some of the stuff I did used to get on his nerves sometimes. But no, we straightened all that stuff out. Yeah, this is me, man. Let me do my thing, man. I didn't bother you when you was talking.
Let him finish up his thing, will you?
But the thing is, and that's why I say this is a compliment, is that Rick told me even back in those days, said, listen, man, when I'm ready to do my thing, I want you on my project, because I like your playing, I like what you do. When you know what you're doing, you're on top of it, you know. And back in my mind, I was like, yeah, sure. But Rick is a phenomenal player, and he's a man of his word. And like I said, being involved with him in this project is a huge compliment, and it's wonderful to be back on the bandstand. It's almost like a reunion, because I play with Boogie all the time. Dave Brown, KATO, these are my dudes, these are my brothers. So it really is a blessing, and it really is phenomenal that even through, you know, that's what happens with families and brothers. Sometimes, you know, you go through stuff, but when the love is there, when the respect is there, nothing can stop that.
That's a fact, my man.
So I'm glad to be here.
That's a fact. Well, Lonnie Bannister, we're thrilled to have you in here, my man.
I'm thrilled to be here.
And we appreciate it. Keep going strong, doing your thing.
Yeah, we're going to give you the wow factor.
That's exactly what you people are doing tonight. We're thrilled to have you guys in here doing what you do. So a great addition. Lonnie Bannister on the kit. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
SAXY Rick, we're running a bit tight on time. But we're going to try and squeeze in 2 more. So let's get into another one. We got a couple more musicians we got to talk to. You good to go?
Yeah, we're ready.
Long Island Blues Warehouse. This is the Wow Factor.
At 17 we fell in love, high school sweethearts. Love was so brand new. We took the vows of man and wife, forever, for life. I remember how we made our way, a little patience, the time to break. Imagine that this love is through. Feeling the pain, girl, when you lose. But oh, it's too hot, it's too hot, baby. Too hot. Gotta run for shelter, gotta run for shade. But it's too hot, Oh, so hot now, baby. Gotta cool this anger. What a mess we made so long ago. You were my love, oh my love. Yes, you were, baby. Flying high, we never took the time to stop and feel the needs. Funny how those years go by, changing you, changing me. I remember love's fever in our hearts, girl, and in our minds. I can't imagine that this love is true. Feeling the pain, girl, when you lose. But oh, it's too hot, it's too hot, baby. Too hot. Gotta run for shelter, gotta run for shade. But it's too hot, oh so hot now, baby. Too hot. Gotta cool the singer. What a mess we made so long ago. You were my love. Feeling the pain. Gotta cool the singer. What a mess we made. Well, it's too hot, oh so hot now, baby. Too hot. Gotta cool the singer. Oh, what a mess we made. It's so hot, lady. Oh, yes, it is. We were one lovers. Too hot. We took our vows. Too hot. No man and wife. To listen, too hot.
This week's featured artist, The Wow Factor. Nicely done, people. I want to grab Dave Brown on guitar if we'll head on up to one of these mics up front here. Vic, you want to scooch over a little bit? There we go. How we doing, Dave Brown?
We're doing great today.
It's good to see you, my man.
It's good to see you, too.
Good to see another fine edition of this project.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the history. Let's talk about when you started on guitar and got involved in the whole music scene.
Well, the whole music thing started at 12 years old.
Age 12?
12
What was the
years old.
influence?
Oh, funk bands in the neighborhood. You know, living in Queens, having a basement, because we lived in a private home, what we did on Saturdays was we would go out and play basketball, and musicians would go in the basement and play all day long on 1 or 2 chords. The only 2 chords we knew.
What were those 2 chords?
Probably that one.
A ninth? Was that a ninth chord?
Ninth chord, yeah.
Okay.
Actually 1 chord. It wasn't 2 chords till later on.
You didn't know open chords like the C and the G and the D?
No,
and
the funk, because funk was always...
Funk, you needed a ninth chord.
You needed a 9 chord. That was James Brown, so...
Oh, sure. An easy chord to play, too.
That's right.
You could just go up and down the neck with that chord.
That's it. James Brown made a lot of money off that chord. That's right.
I think you're right, my man. Let's talk about some projects before the Wow Factor. Throw some highlighted things at us that you've done.
Well, let me see. I have my own unit for the last 25-plus years.
Called?
Dave Brown and the Versatiles.
Very nice.
We do club dates, weddings, corporate events, things like that. And then I play with a group called Bernard Brim. Well, the New York Players, they do the same thing. And then I play with Pep and the Soul Explosion Band. You've heard a few members over here in the same group. And you got some other names down there, I think, moves up to like people like Melba Moore and people like that. In fact, Melba will be at the Carlisle Hotel in April.
Okay.
Doing 10 nights there with Melba. And we did BB Kings with Melba and Phil Perry.
Very nice. Do you remember the Mild and Spicy project?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
Just checking.
I remember it.
Very cool. Very cool. Pep and the Soul Explosion. A lot of you guys have been involved in this thing.
Yeah.
Is that project still going today?
Still going. In fact, this Friday, we work off every weekend. Every
Very
weekend.
nice.
Yeah.
Dave Brown, you make a great addition, my man.
Thank you very much.
I enjoy seeing you do your thing.
Thank you very much.
Keep going strong. Dave Brown on the guitar. We thank you, sir.
Take care.
We got to talk to the percussion man, if he'll head on up to, I'm going to say maybe Lisa's mic since it's set a little lower. Mr. Bobby KATO on percussion. How you doing, Bobby KATO?
I'm fantastic, man.
You're supporting that hat real nice.
I'm blessed.
I didn't get him. I have a hat at home just like that.
Okay.
And if I knew you were wearing it, we would have looked good together, you and me, wearing matching hats.
Absolutely.
It's bad enough I didn't get to wear the matching orange and black, but I would have loved to have had my hat on tonight.
I found out about that
kind
kind of late myself.
Let's let's talk about the history with you, Bobby.
Sure.
Let's talk about what you were doing. Let's talk about when you began. Do you play the kit as well?
No, I don't. Not
Okay,
at all.
just you're a percussion guy.
Yes.
When did you get started with the whole?
Well, actually, about 8 years old, but I was only playing garbage cans at that time.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, on professional set of drums, it's only been a few years. It was something I decided to do after I discovered that I couldn't play piano.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You were a Pep and the Soul Explosion member as well?
I'm with Pep in the Soul Explosion as well, and so I had the opportunity to meet most of these guys in the rhythm section here, including the main man, which was SAXY Rick, which is my influence of being here this evening.
When did you first meet SAXY Rick?
Well,
you catch him at a jam or something?
Well, yeah, I think I'd come over and I was freelancing around. I was going from band to band, say, hey, can I sit in? And he was with Pep in the Soul Explosion, and I started jamming with them on a regular basis, and I called my father. My father lives in Chicago. He loved music, and he flew in from Chicago to hear the band, and I said, well, Dad, how did I do? He said, well, you did well. He said, but if you stick with that guy, SAXY Rick, you'll go somewhere in life. So I've been kind of on Rick's coattail everywhere you go. I think.
Are you telling me the truth on that?
I'm telling you the truth on it. Rick is the ultimate professional, and I tell him this all the time. And I feel blessed that he invited me here this evening to be with him.
You know what? I feel blessed to have each and every one of you musicians on the stage with us tonight. Yeah. We bring a great band on the show once a week. You guys make a tremendous, tremendous contribution to what we do.
Thank you.
And Bobby KATO, I certainly appreciate what you're all about, my man.
Thank you, sir.
Another great dynamic to this project.
Thank you. It's a
so
pleasure
thank
to
you
be
so
here.
much.
You're welcome.
Bobby KATO on percussion. Thank you, sir. We got to thank Bobby KATO on percussion, as I mentioned. We got to thank Victor Freeman on vocals. We got to thank Dave Brown over here on guitar. We got to thank LISAMICHEAL, lead vocals. We got to thank SAXY Rick, sax and vocals, and the flute. And what was that other thing you played?
Soprano saxophone.
And the soprano saxophone. Beautifully done, SAXY Rick.
Thank you.
We got to thank Lonnie Bannister on the drum kit. We also need to thank Al Davis over there on the other end, bass and vocals. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Ron Thompson on the keys over there on the end. Thank you so much, Ron Thompson. SAXY Rick?
Yes.
Any closing words before we get into our last tune?
I just want to thank these guys for coming through for me, and we're going to work after this, y'all. Trust me.
I'm sure you are, and I'm looking forward to it. Rick, before you play us out, Jen D, do you have anything to add before we wrap things up in here tonight?
Please check out EKO Studios at ekoproductions.com. And remember, they're the official studio of the Long Island Blues Warehouse.
Well done, kid. Jen D, new DJ here on the Blues Warehouse. Thank you, Jen. SAXY Rick, what are we finishing up with, my man?
Sacred Kind of Love, Grover Washington and Phyllis Hyman.
Thank you so much. One more time, please say goodbye to the Wow Factor.
Such a lofty flight, wishing distant star, daydreaming. What a perfect world. You make it paradise. I'm a lucky girl. Don't you know that we share a blessed love? Don't you know that we share the old? Don't you know that we share compassion, love? Don't you know that we share a sacred kind of love? Being here with you, I bask inside your glow. Somehow I wish the whole wide world would know. What a gift you are, angel from above, so good, so far. Thank you for perfect love. Don't you know that we share Don't you know that we have it all? Don't you know that we share precious love? Don't you know that we share it all? Don't you know that we share a blessed love? We share it all. We share blessed love. Don't you know that we share it Say